Us live now with more on the story. Terry?
Hey, I'm at the stern of the Cleat. This is the icebreaker I was on today, Trace. Now, many people don't know Philadelphia is the fourth busiest port in the United States. When it comes to petroleum products, it is the busiest port on the East Coast. And it's the men and women who operate these icebreakers that keep the petrol that goes to your car and the food that goes in your refrigerator coming by ship to Philadelphia. It is cold and noisy on the Delaware as the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Cleat works its way up and down the frozen river. The Cleat's hull was designed and built to break ice.
It is 5/8 of an inch thick. Okay? Steel thickness. We can break up to 18 inches of ice.
For 36 years now, the Cleat has been flexing its muscle and throwing around its 72 tons to keep the river open, to keep the buoys that mark the channel from being swept away by the ice.
When the ships come, if the buoys and stuff aren't working properly or they're off station, when the ships come up, there's a problem there, and there's a potential for a disaster.
Part of the secret of success to keeping the river clear is timing. When the ice is broken up, when the tide is going out, it's quickly carried out to sea. But when the ice is broken, when the tide is coming in, that ice backs up and has a tendency to refreeze. You can see that just south of the Betsy Ross Bridge. How thick do you think that is?
I would say probably here it's probably 16 inches, but it's like 16 inches packed on top of each other, so it's not one solid block.
Yeah. The thick ice slows the 65-foot icebreaker, but its 400-horsepower diesel engine is up to the task. The Cleat breaks the ice and creates a path, and so it goes hour after hour. One small ship going against the elements, trying to keep the port of Philadelphia open for business. Tonight, a lot of what was pushed aside will refreeze, and the Cleat and the other icebreaker that's down here will be back on the water again tomorrow. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll meet the men who man the Cleat and talk to them about what they do and how they feel about it. Reporting live from the Coast Guard station on the Delaware River, I'm Terry Ruckles, NBC 10 News.
And for the latest on the big
of ice, breaking the ice here is more than just a social endeavor. It means cold, hard work for the Coast Guard as it tries to keep the river open. NBC 10's Terry Ruggles has been out all day on a Coast Guard icebreaker and joins us live from the Delaware River. Terry?
Well, Larry, the Delaware River is such a big port facility. The petroleum used to patrol or motor your cars and the food that you eat, much of it comes in big ships up the Delaware River. It has to be kept open, that river, and it's the men and women of the Coast Guard who get that job done. Some of the ice is as clear as a mirror, some as sharp as jagged shards of glass. All of it is what the crew of the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Cleat love to break.
For 9 months out of the year, we're waiting for ice.
The Cleat was designed and built to be an icebreaker. The 72-ton ship can cut through 1.5 feet of frozen river. The 6-man crew knows what they do is important for commerce and safety.
The ice could jam underneath the docks and weaken the supports, so somebody could be just walking down a dock and not realize it, and it give way and they fall into the water.
Coast Guard helicopters patrol the river to tell the ship's crew where the ice is the thickest.
It's definitely different. Being in North Carolina, I've never really seen a frozen river before.
Much of this week, the temperature has been in the teens, and when you take into consideration the wind chill factor, it's felt as if it was below zero.
It takes a while to get used to, but I'm holding up better than when it first started getting cold.
Hour after hour and day after day, the Cleat goes up and down the river, breaking ice, making a path so that others may get through. It's cold and it's noisy, but it's necessary to keep the port of Philadelphia open for business.
This is why I joined the Coast Guard. It's something that not everyone can do, and I get the excitement of doing it, so I love to do it.
Well, Damon Johnson and the 5 others on the crew of the Cleat will get to do it again tomorrow probably. Gets cold tonight, or colder I should say tonight. Much of this stuff that was broken up today will refreeze, so the Coast Guard will be back on the water tomorrow, trying to keep the produce that you and I use coming into Philadelphia. Reporting live from the Coast Guard station on Delaware Avenue, I'm Terry Ruggles, NBC 10 News.